Okay. Now, okay. Now, so in the last class, we discussed about what granting. Okay, now, Then- now, okay. We started the views. Huh? Synonyms. I started synonym. Okay. Okay. Synonyms. Then, then. So, what is synonym? What for synonyms are created? Okay. Then a synonym is another name or alternative name for a table or view. Okay. Na? So what is the definition of synonym is? A synonym is another name or alternative name for a table or view. Then we can give another name to the table. We can give another name to the table. So that another name is called what? Synonym. But why we give another name to the table? Okay. Na? Why? What is the purpose? So, okay. Then, so in which scenarios you give another name to the table? In our in our examples, what are the table names? Table names are what? EMP, DEPT, like this. But if we go to projects, real-time projects, table names will not be like this. Table names will not be like this. Table names, what then? So table names will be something like this: XXX underscore XX underscore X underscore XXS, like this. So they have to follow some standards for giving the name to the objects. Okay, then. So, like suppose you take bank, some bank. So they want to store what? Customers, what? Home loans data. So then HDFC, suppose then bank underscore what? Customer underscore home underscore loans, like this. So in this table, that storing customers taken what? Home loans. But if table name is like this, then what is, if table name is lengthy? If table name is lengthy, then it is difficult for developers. If table name is lengthy, then it is difficult for developers. Why? Because who write the queries? Developer. Developer writes queries. While writing the queries, he has to type number of characters, number of keystrokes, number of characters. So it is difficult for developer. Then what developer can give? Developer can give a simple name, HCHL, short form, HCHL. Okay, then. So wherever you want to use the table name, instead of using the table name, you can use this simple and short name. The table name is lengthy. You can give simple and short name to the table. So wherever you want to use the table name, instead of using this table name, you can use this simple and short name. What is the simple and short name is called? The simple and short name is called what? Synonym. So the simple and short name is called synonym. Okay, that's all. So the purpose is giving simple short name to the table. So query is lengthy. Then query is a lengthy query. Then if query is lengthy, then create view. Give the name to the query. Wherever you want to refer that query, use that name. view name. Yes or no? Okay, now then query is lengthy, view. Table name is lengthy, synonym. And it's not only created for table, it is also created for view also. If view name is lengthy, then you can create synonym. So not only for tables, you can create synonyms for tables or views. Then, so if table name is lengthy, then we can give a simple and short name to the table. If table name is lengthy, then we can give a simple and short name to the table. And instead of using table name, we can use simple and short name to the table called synonym. And wherever you want to use, instead of using table name, we can use synonym name in select, insert, update, delete queries. Okay, instead of using table name, we can use synonym name in select, insert, update, delete queries. You know, then instead of using table name, we can use synonym name in select, insert, update, delete queries. That's it. So this is what. So synonym. What is the syntax? Okay. What is the syntax? Actually, see what parents, okay. Suppose they follow some standards for naming the child. To give the name to the child, they follow some standards. What God's name, ancestor's name, like that. Suppose his name is lengthy, then so they like what nickname, short name. Yes, same here concept. Okay, how to create synonym name for table name. Create synonym name for table name. So this is the syntax. Now example then. Example. Oh, example. Create synonym. Create synonym E for EMP. Actually not required here. Why? Because table name itself is short. Actually not required. When we create, when it is lengthy, okay, then. So create synonym E for EMP. Then now let's create. Okay, now. So create synonym. Synonym is created. But what it is saying? Insufficient what's her privileges. That means you don't have permissions. Give the permissions. Give the permissions. Who has to give the permissions? Who give the permissions? Huh? Who has to give the permissions? Okay, na DBA. Grant. Who has to give the permissions? Admin. Who is the admin? Okay, na? Who is the admin? So admin is what, sir? Here. Then who is the admin is DBA. So slash as is DBA connected to DBA, connected to admin. Okay, na? Then slash as is DBA connected to admin. You are connected to admin user. Who is the admin user? Sys. There are two users, sys and system. I connected to sys, or you can connect to system also. Next one. See then grant what, create what, sir? Synonym to which user? With this user, batch 9 a.m. With this user, batch 9 a.m. Okay. So grant create synonym to batch 9 a.m. Grant succeeded. Now he got permission to create what, sir? Synonym. Batch 9 a.m. has got permission to create the synonym. Then now create synonym. Okay. Then so what is this is here? What here? Granting what? Permission to create what? Synonym. Granting permission to create synonym. Who grant the permission? Admin, system. System or sys, anything is okay. Next. Grant what? Create synonym to username. What the username is? Batch 9 a.m. Any, whatever your username, just grant. Now you got permission to create synonym. Okay, now then grant permission to create synonym. Okay. So next, after that, now batch 9 a.m. has got permission to create what? Synonym. Now create the synonym. Who is creating the synonym? Who is creating the synonym? Batch 9 a.m. Batch 9 a.m. is creating synonym for EMP table. Understood then? Whenever you are creating something, when you are creating something, if Oracle says insufficient privileges, means you don't have permission, then give the permission. Who has to give the permission? Admin. Okay, then now it's created. Now synonym is created. Yes or no? Then after creating the synonym, okay, na? After creating the synonym, so wherever you want to use table name, instead of using table name EMP, use synonym name E. Then after creating synonym, instead of using table name EMP, use synonym name, E. In which queries? Select insert update delete queries. Instead of using table name, use synonym name in select insert update delete queries. So now that is select star from E. Select star from E. If you say select star from E, it will show the data from EMP table. It will show the data from what? EMP table. Yes or no? Select star from E. Select star from E. It is showing the data from EMP table. So whatever the data is there in EMP table, it is showing the data. Yes or no? Okay, then showing the data from EMP table. Next. Okay, next one. Not only select query, you can use it in what's that update query. You can use it in update query. Suppose this is what salary and commissions from EMP table. I want to update this commission with 500. I can use, instead of using table name, we can use what? Synonym name. We can use synonym name in all the 4 queries. Select insert update delete. Update E set commission equals to 500 where employee number equal to 7369. Okay, now then next. So wherever you want to use table name, instead of using table name, you can use synonym name. Okay, then. So developer doesn't need to type number of characters. Okay, now that's next. Then okay. Ah. Just see this. First see this. Then next. Suppose, sir, here batch 9 a.m. Just listen. Batch 9 a.m. granted permissions on EMP table to Naresh. Listen. So batch 9 a.m. granted permissions on EMP table to Naresh. Then tell me how Naresh will access. How Naresh will access. Listen this first. Batch 9 a.m. granted permissions on EMP table to Naresh. If Naresh wants to access EMP table, then how we access select start from. No, leave it. This one you leave it. Now here you take this separate case. So batch 9 a.m. granted permissions on EMP table to Naresh. Now Naresh wants to access EMP table. How we access batch 9 a.m. dot EMP. Always the table name should be prefixed with owner name. The table name should be prefixed with what? Owner name. Okay. So who is the owner of EMP table? Batch 9M. So you must access like this. But every time prefixing table name with owner name is difficult for Naresh or not. Every time accessing the table name with owner name is difficult. So then what Naresh can do? Naresh creates what's that? Synonym EMP for batch 9 a.m. dot EMP. So Naresh is creating a synonym called EMP. That synonym is created for what? Batch 9 a.m. EMP table. Then after creating the synonym, now instead of using batch 9 a.m. dot EMP, now you can access like this. Select start from what's that? EMP. He doesn't need to prefix what table name with what's that? Owner name. So you can access this synonym. Select start from EMP. Now he's accessing like he's the owner of EMP table, even though he's not the owner of EMP table, but he can access like he can access the tables without owner name. Okay, then. So what is the another purpose of creating synonym is accessing tables without owner name. So this is another purpose. So batch 9 name granted permissions to Naresh. How Naresh will access? Naresh will access like this. So every time table name should be prefixed with what? Owner name. So it is difficult for Naresh. Naresh can create what's her synonym for batch 9 a.m. dot EMP. So wherever you want to use batch 9 a.m. EMP, you can access like select start from EMP. So he doesn't need to prefix table name with owner name. Okay, then. Okay. That's all. So one is giving the simple and short name to the table. Another one accessing tables without what owner name. Then. So these are the two main reasons for creating what synonym. Understood that? So suppose one question is like this. What is that is? Then one is okay. They given a command. So what is suppose create synonym E for EMP. This is one. They given another command. Select star from EMPE. Third one. Rename EMP to E. They given three commands. So one is this. One is this. Select star from E. One is this. Rename EMP to E. Then what the question asked is explain the differences between these three. Explain the differences. Explain the differences between these three. So tell me here, what is E? Synonym. Here, what is E? What is E? Elias. That's all here. Okay, na? What is E? Elias. What is E? Synonym. That means they're asking what is the difference between synonym and Elias. What is the purpose of Elias? Say, giving simple and short name. Here, giving simple and short name to the table. E. You're also giving simple and short name to the table. E. So what is the difference between synonym and Elias? Okay. So what is the difference between these two? Synonym is what? Okay, na? Synonym. Synonym is permanent or temporary? Permanent. Alias is temporary, not permanent. Synonym is stored in database. Is alias is stored in database? No. Okay. Then. So synonym is what? Synonym stored in database. Alias not stored in database. Synonym is what? Permanent. But alias is not permanent. Then. Okay. Then. So stored in database, not stored in database. Synonym is permanent. Alias is not permanent. Then. So another, what is the scope of this alias? What is the scope of the alias within this query? So you can use this alias only within the query. Can we use this E in another query? No. But one synonym is created. Can we use this synonym in another query? Yes. We can use this synonym in select, insert, update, delete queries. So wherever you want, you can use the synonym. We can use the synonym within the schema. We can use this synonym within the schema. Schema means user. User is batch 9 a.m. So we can use this synonym anywhere in the batch 9 a.m. Any query. But what is the scope of this? Only up to this query. We cannot use this in another query. So then synonym and the scope of the synonym is up to the schema means scope of the synonym is up to the schema. Schema means user, and scope of the what alias is up to the query, up to the schema. Scope of the alias is up to the query. Okay, then next. That's all. So what is this is this is what then okay na? This is what then difference between synonym and what's a alias. But in this, what is this is, sir, in these two cases, are the original table name is changed? Huh? In these two, is a name is EMP table name is changed? No. Are you changing the table name? No. You are giving another name. Giving another name is different. Changing the table name is different. But in this case, what? Changing the table name. You are changing the table name from EMP to what? E. But in these two cases, you are not changing the table name. You are giving another name. But here you are changing the table name. So what is this command? This command changes table name from EMP to E. This changes table name from EMP to E. That's after executing this command, the table name is changed from EMP to E. So after executing this, EMP will be there or will not be there. This table name EMP will not be there because the name will be changed to what? E. Okay, that's so this is what is this? The difference. Understood? Then. But how to get the list of synonyms? From where we can get the synonyms list? So there is a table. What the table is? What the table is? User underscore what? Synonyms. User underscore synonyms. Synonym name, table owner. Synonym name, table name. What is the name of the synonym? The synonym is created for which table? Okay. So what that is? User underscore synonyms. User underscore synonyms. So what is this stores? Stores synonyms created by user. Stores synonyms created by user. Okay. Then. So I want to see the list of synonyms. To see the list of synonyms, select what? Synonym name, comma, table name from user underscore what? Synonyms. So the synonym is what? E. What is the table name? EMP. Synonym name is E and it's created for which table? EMP table. That's it. So name of the synonym, table name. So then what is the query? This is the query to see the list of synonyms. Okay. So what is the list of synonyms? So if you want to see the list of synonyms, execute this query. Okay, now then that's all. Now next, that's all. So this is about what synonyms. What are the next one? Next. Huh? What the next object is? Sequences. Sequences. So what are these? These are all different objects. Okay. Sequences. Then okay. Ah, what is sequence? What for sequences are created? What is sequence? What for sequences are created? Sequence is created to generate what values? Sequence is created to generate what values? Suppose my table contains what ID column, maybe student ID, maybe customer ID, maybe order ID. So this table contains one ID column. You place order, customer go to website, place the order. When he places the order, he doesn't input order ID. Order ID is automatically what generated. Yes or no? So you go to Amazon, you place order. Order number is generated automatically or not? Yes. I want first order number should be 1, second order 2, next one 3, next one 4, next one 5. So every time customer go to website, place the order number should be generated automatically. So how to generate this order number? By using what? Sequence. You go to ATM, you do the transaction. But what you input? You input account number. Account number means insert the card. Select the type. What is the type? Withdraw or deposit? Enter the WhatsApp amount, how much amount you want to withdraw. But after that, after completing the transaction, you go and see the statement. In this, it will print what's a transaction ID. But is transaction ID is entered by customer user? No. So it is automatically what generated. How to generate? With the help of sequence. Okay. Then for some field values automatically generated. For generating the field values, then we use what? Sequence. Then sequence is also a database object created to generate sequence numbers, serial numbers. Sequence is also a database object created to generate sequence numbers. Next, sequences are created used to increment, auto increment column values, auto increment column values. Okay. Auto increment column values. The column values should be automatically what? Incremented. Okay, na? The column value should be automatically incremented. I don't want to what input the value. The value should be automatically generated. For generating the values, we create what's a sequence. Okay. Then what is the syntax? Create sequence, sequence name. Create sequence, sequence name. Then next. Start with what? Value. Next, increment by value. Next, max value. Value. Next, min value. Value. Okay, na? Max value, min value. Next one, like cycle, cycle. Next one, cache size. That's it. So this is the syntax. Clear then. But if you see this, if you observe this, all these parameters are optional. All the parameters are mentioned in square brackets. If something is mentioned in square brackets means what? Optional. So all are optional. None of the parameter is what? Compulsory. All are optional. Okay. Then. So we'll see one by one. But first we'll create one sequence with first three. Start with increment max. Later, next example, I'll show the min value cycle like this. But first example, I'll create with three parameters. Now let's see. Create what? Create sequence S1. Create sequence S1. Start with 1. Next, increment by 1. Next one, max value 5. Create sequence S1. Start with 1. Increment by 1. Max value 5. Okay. So the sequence starts from 1. Every time the value of the sequence is incremented by 1 and it generates up to 5. But usually max value will not be 5. Max value will be big number. Max value will not be 5. Max value will be a big number. But just to demonstrate how sequence works, I'm taking the max value 5. But usually it will not be 5. They use big number. But just to check how sequence works, I'm taking the max value 5. Let's create the sequence. Create the sequence. Then sequence is what's created. After creating the sequence, I want to use the sequence. So this is creating the sequence. What is the next one? Using sequence. So this is creating the sequence. Next one, use the sequence. I want to use the sequence. Okay, then. Now, so we use the sequence for what? We use the sequence for some table, some field. Suppose student table, student ID is there. I don't want to input student ID. Student ID should be automatically generated. Use this sequence S1. Customer table, customer ID is there. I don't want to input customer ID. Customer ID should be automatically generated. Then use this sequence. Now what I'm doing is I'm creating a table. Suppose create table, what's that? Student ID, number 2, student name, varchar 210. Suppose I'm creating a table. Create table student. I'm creating the table. So table is what? Created. After creating the table, I want to use the sequence. Okay. Na? After creating the table, I want to use what's that? Sequence. Use the sequence. But so I want to generate student IDs for every new student. For every new student, I don't want to input student ID. I want to generate the student ID. For every new student, I want to generate the student ID. Then what? So when you want to generate the student ID for every new student means at the time of inserting, yes or no? So insert into what? Student values, then insert into student values. You're inserting means new student, yes or no? For every new student, I want to generate the student ID. So what is the first field? Student ID. I don't want to give the student ID. I want to generate the student ID by using the sequence S1. So in student ID, what do you want to insert? Sequence next value. Sequence value. How to get the sequence value? S1 dot next val. You have to call like this. S1 dot next val. S1 dot next val. S1 dot next val means sequence next value. For the first time, what is the sequence next value? For the first time, what? It starts with start. First time it starts with 1. So first value is what? 1. Next time what? Because increment by is what? 1. Previous value is 1. Increment by 1. 1 plus 1. 2. So next value is what? 2 plus 1. 3. Next value is 3 plus 1. 4. 4 plus 1. 5. Like that. Every time what it does? Previous value plus increment by. How it will generate the next value? Previous value plus increment by. Last value plus increment by. Okay. Then. But for the first time, what? First time start with. First time it takes starts with. Okay. So next time what? Last value. What is the last value? 1. 1 plus increment by 1. 2. Okay. Na? Then name. Name I want to input. Name I want to input. ID I don't want to input. Name I want to input. Okay. Then let's see once again. First see this. First see this. What? Execute this command. Then one row created. But what is inside into student ID? 1. Next one. B. What is inside into student ID? 2. Okay. Next one. C. 3. Next one. D. 4. Next one. E. What? 5. Next one. F. What? 6. Error. Why? Because you said max value 5. See that S1 dot next value exceeds what? Max value. Okay. Because you said max value 5, it generates up to 5. It cannot generate more than 5. If you try to generate more than 5, it gives error. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. You know, that's all. So if you go and see the table, select star from what? Student. If you go and see the table, select star from student. And what it is gives student ID, student name. Okay. Then so 1A, 2B, 3C, 4D, 5E. Every time a new student record is inserted, student IDs are automatically generated. Okay. Then so run this command. Now see this here, student table 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I not entered these values are automatically what generated. Okay, then. So how to get the sequence next value? S1 dot next value. Whenever you call S1 dot next value, it will generate the sequence next value. Okay, then next. Okay, then. So, but in this example, you are generating the student IDs for every new student, generating the student ID for every new student. Whenever a new student joins, student ID is automatically generated. But suppose, for example, sometimes this is the table. You see this employee table. So this is employee table. You see the employee numbers, employee numbers. Is employee numbers are in any sequence? Is employee numbers are in any sequence? No. Okay. Employee numbers are unique, but they're not in sequence. I want to make this employee numbers what sequence. I want to start from 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, like this. So I want to make this employee numbers in sequence. And then what? Huh? One second, just see this. See this. First, what I'm doing is I'll create what's a sequence. Create sequence what? S2. Then start with. You want to start from 100. Like anything. You can start from any. Increment by what? 1. Next one. Max value. Suppose 999. So starts from 100 every time the value is incremented by 1 and generates up to 999. Sequence is what created. And I want to use this sequence for employee number. I want to use this sequence for employee number. Listen, but you want to use this sequence for employee number. But new employees are existing employees. You want to generate the employee numbers. Okay, na? For new employees or for existing employees. Existing employees. Already employees are there. Already employees are there, but employee number is not there. Already employees are there, but employee number is not there. And then what? I want to use the sequence to generate employee number bars. Huh? I want to generate employee number, not for new employees, for existing employees. Then what? Simple update command. Update command. In the previous example, I want to generate the student ID for every new student. Then you are calling the sequence in insert command. Now I want to generate the employee numbers, not new employees, existing employees. Then call the sequence in update command. Let's see once again. Update em. Set which will you want to update? Employee number. Employee number should be updated with what? Not 100. Sequence. What is the sequence? S2 dot next val. For the first time, it go to first row. It go to first row. How update command is executed? Row by row. Select command, update command, delete command. These three commands are executed row by row. It go to first row. Update the employee number with what? Sequence next value. For the first time, what is sequence next value? 100. So this is updated with how much? 100. It go to the next one. Employee number is updated with sequence next value. Second time, what is sequence next value? 100 plus 1, 101. So it is updated with 101. Next time, 102, 103, 104, like this. Okay. Now, so what this is? Use above sequence to update what's that employee number. Understood then. So let me create then. So execute this command, execute this command, then 14 rows, what's that? Updated. Now see the table, see the table, select what? EMP name salary from EMP. You see the employee numbers. Okay. Then now employee numbers are in sequence or not? Yes. Okay. Then so if you want to generate the values for every new student, call the sequence in insert command. You want to generate the values for existing employees, then call the sequence in update command. Okay. Then let's say what? Yes, I'm using what's it? Rollback. Okay, now then. So you got the old values. Because why? Because you said what? Rolled back. Okay. Then okay. So this is one example. This is what? Another example. Sir, one is asking something like this. You want IDs to be like this. ANB001, ANB002, ANB003. What? You want is asking like this. You want it like this. ANB 001, 002, 003, like this. You want code NIT 001, NIT 002, NIT 003. So what you have to do? NIT should be concatenated with what? Sequence. But sequence starts from 1. Sequence starts from 1. Every time the value of the sequence is incremented by 1. Okay. What you say? Sequence dot what's it? Sequence. Sequence name is S10. S10 dot next value. You say sequence dot next value. Then what it gives? NIT1, NIT2, NIT3. But it will not give 001. But it's asking 001. Then I want 1 to be like this. I want 2 to be like this. I want 3 to be like this. Then if you start with 0, then it will take 1 only. Understood? That, huh? That is simple mathematics, boss. Here, if you say 001 plus 002 from dual, what it will show? 3 only. It will not show 003. Don't think that if you give 001, it will show the output also 001. Not like that. If you say 001 plus 002, it will show 3 only. It will not show 003. Yes, then how to show like this? I want number to be like this. One should be displayed like this. Then if you want to show like this, then what you have to say? Select what's it? 2 char, then 1. I want to show 1 like this, 000. From what? Dual. You see that 001. Okay, now what is this is formats. What is this is format? Zero format. Zero format. Suppose I give 4 zeros, then 0001. Okay, now. So in case if you use this format, extra digits are filled with what? 0. So actual number is what? 1. But how many digits you given? 3. 3 digits. According to the format, 3 digits. But actual number contains how many digits? 1 digit. Extra digits are filled with 0. Here the actual number is 1. But format contains how many? 4. Extra digits are filled with what? 0. Then what you have to say? You have to say what's it? 2 char sequence next value, next one 00. That's That's all. So if you want output to be like this, then you have to concatenate NIT with what's her sequence next value. Understood that? But sequence value is what? 15. Then how it will show? Sequence next value is 15. Then 015. How it will show? 015. Output is always how many digits? 3 digits. Okay, 3 digits. If your actual number is 1001, actual number is 9009, actual number is 11, then 011. That's all. Okay, that's all. See, vehicle number, vehicle number. Vehicle numbers are what? Even vehicle number is 1. But in nameplate, you can write 1. But in database, they store what? 001. Vehicle number is 560056. They store like this. Understood that? So vehicle number is fixed to 4 digits. Okay. Then even if vehicle number is 1, so then store 001, 0056 like this. Understood? Now, so one is in one example, we are calling the sequence in what? Insert command. In another example, we are calling the sequence in what? Update command. Okay. But if you see this, then I created sequence with only 3. What are the 3? Start with increment max value. But so I not created the sequence with min value, cycle, cache size. Okay. Then so there are 2 options here. What is cycle, no cycle? Default is no cycle. Okay, na? What is the default? Default is no cycle. That means if you don't mention cycle or no cycle, by default it takes what? No cycle. What is no cycle is? This is the sequence. First one, cycle or no cycle? This is cycle or no cycle? No cycle. Because it's you are not mentioned anything. If you don't mention anything, by default it says no cycle. Here also, here the sequence is created with what? No cycle, because you are not mentioned. If you don't mention, by default it takes no cycle. So default is no cycle. If you don't mention anything, by default it takes what? No cycle. So if sequence created with no cycle, here in these 2 examples, sequence start with every time value is incremented by 1 and it generates up to 5. After generating max value, then what it will do? It stops or it continues? Stops. What it stops? Yes. Okay, na? If you try to generate more than 5, then it gives what? Error. That means it stops at max value. Okay. So here also sequence starts from 100. It generates up to 999. After reaching max value, then it stops. But in case of cycle, after reaching max value, then it is reset to min value. In case of no cycle, after reaching max value, then it stops. But in case of cycle, after reaching max value, it is reset to min value. Again starts from min, generates up to max. Again after reaching max, reset to min. Again starts from min, generates up to max. Again it is reset to min. So if you want to repeat this min to max, min to max, min to max number of times, create sequence with what? Cycle. But you want only one time, then you want to generate only one time, then create sequence with what? No cycle. No cycle is default. For no cycle, you don't need to mention no cycle because default is no cycle. So you want to repeat this. Sometimes you want to repeat this. If you want to repeat this number of times, create sequence with what, sir? Cycle. Vehicle number 001 starts from. What is the last number? 999. What is the last value? 999. After reaching 999, then again it should start from 001 with different code. AB, AC, AD, AE with different code. Then again it should start from 001 and it should generate up to 9,919. Again after reaching 9,919, again starts from 001. That's all. So this 1 to 9,999 is one timer, repetitive. Repetitive only one timer, repetitive. So whenever you want to repeatedly generate, then create sequence with cycle. Okay. Then so then if sequence created with what? Created with no cycle, then it starts from start with and generates up to max, and after reaching max, then it stops. Okay, then so next, then if okay, if sequence created with what? Created with cycle, then it starts from start with and generates up to max, and after reaching max, then it will be reset to min. Then it starts from start with and generates up to max. After reaching max, then it will be reset to min. Okay. Okay. Then now example, then example what? Create sequence. Okay. S3, S3 start with 1, increment by 1. Next what? Max value 5, min value 1, cycle. So cache size 4. But what this is, we'll discuss. We'll discuss what this is. So this sequence starts from 1. Every time the value of the sequence incremented by 1 generates up to 5. After reaching 5, it is reset to 1. Again starts from 1, generates up to 5. Again reset to 1. 1 to 5, 1 to 5, 1 to 5. So if you want to repeat this number of times, create sequence with what? Cycle option. Okay. Then see sequence is what, sir? Created. You want to test. One method is what? Create a table, insert the data into the table. At the time of inserting, generate the sequence number, test it. If you want to just for testing, you want to just test whether cycle is working or not, then no need to insert into table. Just write the query. Write the what, sir? Query. Select query will display. Insert command will insert into table. If you want to insert into some table, then call the sequence in insert command. I just want to test whether this sequence cycle is working or not. Just write the select query. What is the sequence name? S3. S3 dot what, sir? Next value from here. So displaying the sequence next value. For the first time, 1. Next time, 2. Next time, 3. Next time, 4. Next time, 5. Next time, see that 1. Again, so it is reset to 1. Min value. What is the min value? 1. Next time, 2. Next time, 3. Next time, 4. Next time, 5. Next time, 1. Again, you see that. So 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 5. You want to repeat number of times. If you want to repeat this number of times, create sequence with what? Cycle option. That's it. Okay, now then. So best example is what? Vehicle number. 1 to 9,999. 1 to 999 is only one time or repeated. 1 to 9,999 is only one time or repeated. Repeated. So I want to repeatedly what? Generate 1 to 9,999. So better to create sequence with what? Cycle option. Okay. Then. Okay. Then. So that's how. So this is sequence with what's a cycle. You know all this, but what you don't know is cache size. Can you know all these parameters, but you don't know this what? Cache size. What is this cache size is? Okay. What is this cache size? This is related to memory. This is related to performance. So this is related to what? Memory and what's that? Performance. See how whenever you call sequence dot next value, whenever you call sequence dot next value, how it will generate the next value? For the first time, what? For the first time, what? Start with. For the first time, it go to start with and return the start with. What the start with is 1. Next, after generating 1, so in database, what it stores what's her last value. There is a call what? Increment by. After generating the first start with, then what is the last value? 1. What is the increment by? 1. Next one. Again, you call sequence dot next value. Second time. Second time when you call sequence dot next value, then it goes to database. Oracle goes to database. With the last value. What is the last value? 1 plus increment by 1 plus 1. Then generates next value. What the next value is? 2. Next, last value is updated with what? 2. Again, you call sequence dot next value. Oracle go to database. Get the last value. What is the last value? 2 plus increment by 2 plus 1, generate the next value. What is the next value? 3. And update the last value. Last value is updated with what? 3. 3. Updated with 3. Next time you call sequence dot next value. Then it go to database. What is the last value? 3. 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1. Then generates next value. What is the next value is? 4. And update the last value to 4. Yes or no? Then. So what is the problem here? What is the problem here? Okay, you are getting the values, but problem is what? Internally, every time it goes to database, get the last value, add this value to increment by, generate the next value. After generating the next value, again go to database, update the last value. So number of requests going to database WhatsApp increases. Every time you generate the sequence value, every time it has to go to database, get the value, plus after generating, then update the value. So it goes to database. So number of requests going to database what increases, performance what's degrades. Always for improving the performance, you have to minimize the request to what? You have to minimize the number of requests going to database. If number of requests going to database is reduced, performance is what? Improved. But here, every time you call sequence, so every time it is going to the database. So number of requests going to database, what's that? Increases. Performance, what's that? Degrades. To improve the performance, what Oracle says, use what? Cache size. To improve the performance, use what? Cache size. Okay, then. So for improving the performance, this is for improving what's that? Performance. Okay, so like suppose, for example, just 1 second, just listen first. I'll give this, like just listen. Suppose this is one sequence, just listen. S5, start with what's that? 1. Every time value is incremented by 1. Next one, 1000. Min value 1. Cycle. Cache size is what? 100. So I declare the cache size 100. If you declare the cache size 100, then what happens is Oracle pre-allocates 100 values in cache memory. Oracle pre-allocates what's that? 100 values in cache memory. So how many values? 1 to what's that? 100. 1 to 100 values are pre-allocated in what? Cache memory. So in database, what it writes? Last value. What is the last value? In database, so it stores last value. Okay. The last value is what's that? 100. Yes or no? See, when you call sequence next value, whenever you call sequence next value, when you call sequence next value, it will go to cache memory. Already the values are generated now. So whenever you say sequence dot next value, it will go to cache memory and it will get the value from what's her cache memory. First time what? Returns what's her 1. Next time returns what's her 2. Next time returns what? 3. Next time it generates what's her, like it is reached to 100. After reaching to 100, again it pre-allocates what's her next 100 values. What are the next 100 values? 101 to 200, because here max value is 1000 now. So it is 101 to 200. Okay. Because you said cache size is 100. How many values are stored in cache memory? 100 values. Again, you call sequence dot next value. When you call sequence dot next value, then what it will do? So here update the cache last value with what's that? 200. Next, when you call sequence dot next value, it will go to cache memory and get the value. What the value? 101. So it will get the value 101, 102, 100. Next one generated up to 200. Again, it will pre-allocate what? 201 to 300 and update this last value with what? 300. So every time you call this, again it goes to cache memory. So every time you call sequence, it is not going to the database. It is going to cache memory. So accessing cache memory is faster than accessing what? Database. Then this improves what? Performance. Which is faster? Accessing cache memory is faster than accessing database. Cache memory. Why? because database is there in hard disk. Cache memory is allocated in RAM. So what is faster? Accessing RAM is faster, accessing database. RAM is faster. Okay. So this is for improving what's that? Performance. Okay, na? That's all. So I'll give this in the next class. Okay. Then. Okay.